You have set up your Java Eclipse IDE, and now it's time to write our first Java program. Let's open up our Eclipse IDE. This is where we are going to write our code. We are going to start with this classic Hello World program. It's a tradition in this programming world. So let's quickly get started. Now, in the last video, we had already created this Java course project. Let's just simply click on the source and do a right click, go to new, and then simply go and select class. Now, over here, we need to first write a package. Let's give a package name such as Java program. And now, the next thing that we need to do is give a name to our this Java class. We will learn about this code in detail. Let's first right now give a name. Let's say our class name is Hello World. Now, always remember in Java, every application must contain a main class which wraps up all this program inside it. Now that we have already written a name for the class, remember these classes are a part of a given package. That's the reason why we have also given a name for our Java package. Next, we need to make sure that there is an access modifier selected. Here, by default, we are selecting a public access modifier. It means that this class can be accessed by any other class. Now, next we need to make sure that we select this first checkbox, that is public static void main. Now, what exactly does this line of code mean? We will see in a few minutes. Once you have done the selection, simply go and click on finish. You can see that a few lines of code are already written for you. Now, as you can see over here, we have this package defined, that was Java program. Now, inside this package, we have created a class called as Hello World. Now, let's understand this line of code in detail. Let's break down what we have just written. This line is defining the main method of this class. The main method is nothing but the entry point for any given Java application. Basically, when you start the program, the JVM looks for this main method in order to start the execution of this code. Now, let's understand the meaning of this first word public. It means that this method can be accessed from anywhere. Let's understand the meaning of this word static. It means the method belongs to the Hello World class and not to any instance of the class. This allows the JVM to invoke the main method without creating an instance of this class. The next one is the keyword void. It means the method doesn't return any value. Main is the name of this given method. And string args is nothing but it's a parameter passed to this main method. It represents any command line argument. It's basically an array of string objects. This might be a bit tricky for you to understand right now. Do not worry. As we move ahead in our course, we will make sure that we understand each of these words in more detail. Now, let's quickly go ahead and print our first program. Now, let's quickly go ahead and write this one more statement. We don't need this comment for now, so let's remove it. Let's just quickly type system.out.println. Now, inside this round brackets, we will simply write Hello World. And now after this, let's put a semicolon. Remember, this line, that is system.out.println, is going to return the output of whatever has been mentioned within its round brackets. Let's quickly click on this Run button. Did you see that? We got this output printed as Hello World on this console. Remember, in Java, every statement needs to be terminated with a semicolon. Also, the next very important point to be noted over here is that Java is a case-sensitive language. That means if this class name is written as Hello World, where H is small and W is in capital, we cannot go ahead and change this. If we change this, our program is definitely going to throw an error. Let's see what happens if we just write it as W in small. Now let's quickly run this. Did you see? It says unable to load the main class. Now, why did this happen? Because over here, the program is saved as Hello World, where W was capital while we were creating it. However, here we have made a small change in this class name. So, Hello World and this Hello World are not the same. Let's quickly correct this back. Let's go ahead and print a few more statements. Let's say I print system.out.print, and within this we are simply typing it as Java is a Let's print one more statement, system.out.print ln, and inside this we will write it as programming. And now we will type here system.out.print ln, and let's write here as language. Now, what am I actually doing? Cut. Now, here I actually want to print the statement that is Java is a programming language. But as you can see, I have actually written 3 print statements. Let's see what happens when we run this code. Remember, my objective is to print this statement in just one single line. So let's cut. So let's quickly run this. Okay, it says that we again have an error. So over here, let's see how many curly brackets we have open. It was this one over here, that was for this class, and the next one is for this void main. However, if you can see, we have only one closing curly bracket. So let's add one more. Remember, whenever it is a class or a method, we have to make sure that we are writing it within this curly brackets. And with curly brackets, I mean to say that it should have an opening as well as its respective closing curly bracket. Let's quickly run this again. Okay. Let's understand this output. If you can see, it is written Java is a programming, but the text language is printed on the second line. It's not printed after the word programming. Now, why did this happen? This happened because if you observe carefully, print and println both are returning me different values. Basically, what happens is when I write it as system.out.print, what it does it takes the cursor, it writes the entire statement, and the cursor stays at that same position. However, what happens is as soon as I write println, the cursor starts typing this text. As soon as the text ends, after a semicolon, the cursor moves to the next line. Here, let's do a small correction in our code. Instead of giving it as a println over here, let's remove this ln. Let's now see what our output is. See, it says Java is a programming language. However, let's add a small space in both the statements. And now let us quickly click on this play button. It said Java is a programming language. So remember, we can print as many statements as we want. Make sure that you judiciously use the print and the println statements. In this video, we learned to write our first program in Java. In the next video, we will take a look of behind the scenes and see how a Java program actually works. So stay tuned with us.